With the proliferation of mobile devices in the classroom continuing and many devices now being owned by students themselves, Impero's mobile device management solution simplifies the management of devices in schools and across school districts. Supporting BYOD and one-to-one initiatives, Edlink simplifies the configuration and management of mobile devices and is the perfect companion to Impero Education Pro. Whether students are using school or student-owned mobile devices, Edlink provides comprehensive privacy controls, including access to applications and internet-based content to protect students from online risks. Accessing the Edlink dashboard either via your web browser or conveniently from within the Impero console itself couldn't be simpler. Using Edlink to associate devices with user accounts enables you to simplify reporting, making it easier to identify who's who, and also lets you view data in the real-time dashboard. In addition, the dashboard provides useful information including the location history of devices, warnings about non-syncing devices, and with the addition of device notifications, staff can be notified when a device enters or leaves a location. In this instance, we can see a mix of operating systems and devices, including Android, Chrome, and iOS devices. You can import users quickly and simply using a CSV bulk upload. User information can include their name and the year they are currently being taught in. You can also tag the users, identify when they were last on the network, and see which device they have associated to them. Enrolling devices into the MDM couldn't be simpler. Here are 3 core ways to add a new school device. Firstly, you can download the iOS application from the iTunes Store, the Android application from the Play Store, or the Chromebook application from the Chrome Store. Alternatively, you can enter this URL into the browser on your OS device and download the application directly from that link. By entering the school account code when prompted, this will then auto-enroll the device into the MDM. Finally, you can use Apple Configurator 2, which is our recommended solution to ensure that a device is supervised or managed, allowing you to apply the greatest level of configuration and control. When it comes to BYOD initiatives, Edlink's cross-platform functionality enables schools and districts to support the greatest number of devices. Clicking on the Profile tab shows the baseline profile applied to all enrolled devices, as well as conditional profiles that are applied, based on the device being used and when, where, or who is using it. Baseline profiles include applications to be rolled out to every device and may include safe content settings and account and network configurations. Clicking this option displays the name and details of the profile, including a brief description and details on where and when the profile will be applied and on how many devices. We can also see which devices currently have the profile applied. On the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see an overview showing actions and restrictions that will be applied to all matched devices. So, from a safe content perspective, when safeguarding students on a device, you can see that this can be applied to a Chromebook, iOS, or an Android device. However, further down, we can see that AirPlay and AirPrint settings, for example, can only be applied to iOS devices as signified by the Apple symbol on the right-hand side. Clicking on the Safe Content or any of these tabs will bring up a number of additional options. From here, you can enable a comprehensive web filter. We recommend that an on-premise or cloud-based school filter is in use, and the filter options here are only applied to devices when they are off-site. Other options include enabling safe browsing and a basic keyword filter. Should you wish, you can also replicate similar settings as applied by your on-premise or cloud-based filter and apply enterprise-level filtering options onto devices being used at home. Conditional profiles are profiles that are based on where and when the profile will be applied and on which devices. Selecting one of the profiles listed will open up more information and settings. If we click on our privacy settings, we can demonstrate 4 modifications that can be made to help safeguard students while on a device. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will select iOS devices. Clicking on the Details option for block applications installed and removal will enable you to make modifications to this specific class profile. Each option, such as disabling the removal of apps from the iOS device, indicates whether it will only be applied to a supervised device and from which version of operating system they can be applied. This line indicates that you have selected an option within the subcategories. You can also click on this to automatically highlight all of the subcategories available. You can also block users from making device modifications. So, for example, if you want to stop users from using inappropriate images as their wallpaper, you can click on the option to prevent wallpaper from being changed. Another option to help safeguard students involves changing Safari settings within a profile. Firstly, we need to enforce the use of the Edlink iOS application, which contains the safe browser and all the keyword monitoring which is inherent in Impero Education Pro. To do this, you must select Safari Browser Application is disabled. You can also make changes to the social options. So, for example, you can disable the video conferencing options on the iOS device to prevent users from sharing content which could be deemed as inappropriate. You can also choose to activate block spending to prohibit in-app purchasing for applications. Once you have made all of the desired changes to the settings, you can save the profile. When the profile is then applied to the class devices, all of these configurations are applied. Application management allows you to provision applications directly onto devices in a number of ways. Firstly, you can search the various app stores to download specific applications. Alternatively, you may use Apple's Volume Purchasing Program or VPP, even if you have multiple programs managed by different schools across a district, to bulk purchase applications at a reduced cost, as well as simplifying distribution to your devices. Impero Education Pro has full integration with both Apple VPP and Apple's Device Enrollment Program, or DEP, to streamline deployment of your devices. DEP allows you to bypass the normal onboarding process for new devices. Rather than manually accessing your iTunes or adding your iCloud account, devices which are a part of DEP auto-enroll into the MDM when you turn them on for the first time, pulling down the baseline profile and adding the Wi-Fi credentials to the device. This makes the unboxing process far simpler and reduces the admin burden on managing a large estate of iOS devices. Focusing on the applications themselves now, if you click on iOS, you can do a standard application search or add a new enterprise application. The addition of new enterprise applications is becoming more and more common as schools are increasingly creating their own apps. These applications wouldn't normally go into the iTunes Store, but can be added to your Edlink MDM. So, for example, if a group of grade 6 students created their own app, you can use the MDM to push that app out to all of your school-owned devices within a specific grade. If we now click on Standard Application Search, and use Facebook as an example, Edlink will search the iTunes Store. You can see that Facebook has come up with the search results. If you click on the plus button, additional information about the applications is revealed, such as devices that the application works on. From here, you can define which devices should have the application installed, either by adding a tag to the app or assigning the application to all school or home-owned devices. From an installation control perspective, you can also create an install window for when the application will install, rather than it doing so automatically when a device connects to the network. This prevents the installation from impacting on the use of the device and on the bandwidth of the network during the school day. You can also enable or disable the notifications for an application on each and every device if you wish. By clicking on Add, the application is now successfully added to the MDM, and you can now choose which devices you want to install the application on. The same principles apply when distributing media content to your devices. This media could be iBooks purchased within the Apple Volume Purchasing Program, or it could be content created by the school or district. The Zones tab is where you can create your geolocations, the geofences around your school, your SSIDs, and the Wi-Fi credentials required for the device to connect. You also have the ability to use beacon technology. The accuracy of geolocation can be affected by several factors. Our recommendation is to have geolocation covering the school campus, SSID for a specific building on the site, and using beacon technology for a specific room within a school building. Impero Edlink offers a centralized approach to mobile device management in education, supporting BYOD and one-to-one programs to enhance digital learning and keep students safe.